Sanity during travel is the goal today. So that is what I'm offering for you, a little bit of a travel sanity checklist for you and your beloved with autism or a related condition. Just coming off the heels of a 4-day trip with my son. And every step of the way as I went, I thought about you and I thought I really need to write down sort of the things I'm experiencing and learning even as I go. Decades later, my son is 27 years old, my son with a diagnosis of autism. And I've been doing this travel like for many years, for a very long time. And I promise you when I say I am still learning, I am still trying to figure out how to make trips smooth and how to make travel not only sane, but also enjoyable for him and for myself and for the family. So that is what I'm offering you today, a sanity travel checklist. We're going to get into it here in just a second. You're never going to find me coming on here and saying, smash the like button and share and subscribe and all those things. Okay. If you choose to do that, I think it's amazing. I would be extremely grateful. What I will ask you to do is if you know somebody who will benefit from this video or this information, please do share the information because again, as I think back over my years, if I had somebody sort of guiding me through on the front end as my son was young and then growing into adolescence and then teenager and then adulthood, I may have gone in with a little more confidence. So if this content resonates with somebody that you know, yeah, if you could share it, that would be amazing. Okay, so my long sleeved sweatshirt says literally freezing because where I am is literally freezing. In fact, it's much colder than freezing. It is currently 12 degrees, a balmy, oh wow, a balmy 12 degrees. I just can't help but laugh when I say that. So I decided to take my son to go see family somewhere warm for just 4 quick days. And in doing so, again, wanted to really come back with some valuable content for you so that the next time you travel, things can be smooth and we can pre-plan accordingly so that, it's as good as it can be and even enjoyable. That is the goal, to enjoy the things that we do together as a family. And I'm a single parent. So a lot of what I do, most of what I do is by myself. So again, for those of you who are single parents with a son or daughter with a diagnosis of autism, I'm hugging you. There's a special place for us here and beyond, I believe in heaven as well, because it's exhausting. And you are having to do the thinking and the parenting for two people. And there is nothing easy about that on any level, even with neurotypical kids, let alone trying to be thinking of everything in advance. And we're going to get into this here in a minute, but also just the trying to use a restroom or a bathroom. Trying to use the bathroom in an airport or a public place can be, yeah, it can be scary. It can be downright scary with just you if you're traveling alone. So I'm going to get into that in just a second. But first thing on my checklist is be sure you have a current ID. Um, the last time I traveled, which was in February, I did not have a current ID for my son. In fact, it is literally a miracle that we made it through security because his ID was expired. It's a state ID, and I know, here we go. Talk about learning in the process. I misplaced his passport in my last move when I moved to the home I'm in now. I don't know how, I don't know like what happened, but the point is I lost his passport. So I was in the process of getting him a new passport. It had not arrived yet, so his ID had expired. Now I did check on TSA first to see if I would be able to get him through. I was, but it couldn't be over, I think it was over a year. It could not have been expired for over a year. So it wasn't, thank goodness. But first things first on your travel, sanity travel checklist. If they are above the age 18, you've got to have a current photo ID. In the state I live, they offer state IDs without having to have it be a driver's license. Great. A passport's even better because you can always use that. It's good for 10 years and it works everywhere. So that is first. If they are under the age of 18, You have got to have your certified county legal guardianship paperwork. Okay. Copies don't work. Ask me how I know. So, when he was underage, I took a trip with him and my other kids as well. And my goodness, the hoops we had to jump because I brought copies of the guardianship paperwork, not I did not bring certified copies. I just photocopied them. So, if you are the legal guardian, you have to have that certified paperwork with you. And if they are an adult, again, you can use the ID, but bring the guardianship paperwork just in case. You never know how TSA is going to respond to an ID. It's easier if they're an adult. If they are underage, you've got to have the legal certified decree and or legal guardianship paperwork. Okay, don't forget that. Next on the list, transition items. All right. What I mean by this is many people with the diagnosis of autism have transition items. I'm going to use this pen as an example. My son has belts. So he has these flexible canvas belts that he carries with him and he twists them. He twists them and twists them and twists and looks at them, kind of looks at it while he twists. He doesn't always do this. We have really worked on finding replacement behaviors when moving into different situations out in the community. But travel can be highly anxiety producing. So I'm not going to deny him his transition item because it makes him feel comforted and it's something he can control. And that is what is important. Something that they can control, that is familiar, that they know well, that they're used to. So he uses a belt, just a flexible, again, it's a canvas belt. And he likes to just keep his hands busy by sometimes twisting it. All right. If your child, and I don't care if they're an adult or an adolescent, if they have a transition item, bring it. Let them have it with them along the way. Of course, you have to put it away when you go through security. Fine, no problem. I had my son put his belt in the backpack, which was great. Went through security. Fine, no problem. But do bring a transition item or whatever it is that they use for comfort. Okay. Snacks. Yeah. Do snacks. These days, travel is anything but glamorous. And I don't care how many packets of pretzel mix they can offer you, it's never going to be enough for a 2.5, 3.5 hour flight. Bring your own snacks. They have to be able to make it through TSA. Don't bring anything liquid or squishy. Don't do like the squishy packets of Go-Gurt or like applesauce. Just do whatever they can and will eat that's appropriate for their diet. If it's gluten free, bring gluten free granola bars. These are, yeah, those exist. Or nuts or gluten free pretzels, whatever. Just have something to keep them busy and fed on the plane because the snack options are horrible. And in fact, I don't even think they have gluten free snack options, the ones that they just pass out. No offense, airlines. I'm just saying, there's a lot that is not travel friendly about the service and also airports. We're going to get into that too. But snacks, bring them, pack them in your backpack or your carry on so that you can pull them out and use them while you travel. Hand sanitizer and hand wipes. I make my own hand sanitizer, believe it or not. I've got a recipe and it works really well. Plus, I add a little essential oil to it. But you want this, you need this because thinking you're going to run in and out of the bathroom is also a challenge. So don't do that. Have your hand sanitizer with you. Wipe down the seat area, wipe down the tray table, wipe down whatever you got to wipe down when you're on the plane. But also just having hand sanitizer that is not super toxic. Again, we're trying to stay healthy and also provide minimal toxins and introducing minimal toxins to our beloved's systems and ours. So bring a decent hand sanitizer. Okay, you'll thank me. And you probably already do this when you travel, but it is, again, I was reminded on the plane, like, wow, I'm so glad we have this because to jump up to go to the bathroom to wash hands before a snack is just no. All right, what else? Okay, when you book your flight, book them on the lower volume days. There are days of the week that are lower volume travel days. We left on a Thursday, we came back on a Monday night. Very low volume travel, although I will say when we landed Monday night, it was busier than I thought it would be. It was busier than I thought. But the time of day and the days, check it out. Just Google it or DuckDuckGo it, whatever, as you make your plans. Of course, flights vary in terms of price based on the day that you go. That's important though. The lower the volume, the easier time you have, the less time you have to spend in line. My goodness, if I had a dollar for every time I've stood in a line that felt like it was going to be endless into perpetuity, I'd be a rich woman. Not that I'm not. I mean, I feel as though I'm very rich in blessing, and in many ways, my family has our health. We're here chatting with you. My point is, you absolutely want to travel on days where you've got the least chance of super long lines at security. I kid you not, the last time I traveled to Florida with my kids, with my beloved son and two of my other children, there was something hugely horrible happening in TSA at the Orlando airport. We waited in line for 2.5 hours standing. 2.5 hours. If my son would have been a child, we wouldn't have made it. There would have been no way. He would have been on the floor, rolling around. He would have been crying. I don't know what I would have done, literally. Thank the good Lord that he's an adult now. And we took turns leaving the line and going and looking for a snack or grabbing something to drink or going to the bathroom and just kind of moving with my other children in and out of line while keeping our place. But it was bad. I mean, we did miss our flight while I was standing in line. I actually had to navigate the airline for a next flight because we were never going to make it. We waited for 2.5 hours. Plan for lines, but if you can prevent them by traveling on really low volume days, that will be even better for you. All right. Earplugs, headphones, they are a must. Get your earplugs, your headphones. My son wears those insert earplugs. They're like made of foam. They work really, really well. Airports are loud and noisy and chaotic, and airplanes are loud as well, especially on takeoff. So, whatever they can utilize to minimize that sensory overload, do it. Um, this is big, guys. Know where the family bathrooms are at the airports. There should be one on every gate. Let me talk for a minute about this. There aren't enough, and we need to do something about it. There are not enough family bathrooms. So on the destination out, I found a family bathroom, but it took me a while that was unoccupied. Okay, so I always now leave plenty of time. We were able to use the family bathroom before getting on the plane. When we landed, there was not a family bathroom unoccupied to be found. Nowhere to be found. I tried 3 on 3 separate gates, and we really had to go. Like, we had to go. My son had to go, but I think I had to go worse. 3 in a row on 3 separate gates occupied. Now, I think what happens is there's an employee only access door right there where employees can come in and out. Just a theory, not blaming anybody, no judgment here. I think it is possible that employees are sneaking into the family bathroom for breaks. Okay. I just think it's possible. Again, if you work for the airlines, don't be mad at me. I'm just saying, I don't understand how right next to the employee entrance and exit door, every family bathroom can be occupied for minutes. And it's not like we were just sitting there for 30 seconds or a minute, minutes on end. So no, something is wrong there. Also, I noticed right next to the family restroom was a nursing mother's room. Nursing mother's room, family bathroom right next to each other. None of the nursing mother rooms were ever in use. I love the fact that they exist. I think they're very important, but I think the requirement or need for family bathrooms versus nursing mothers' rooms isn't equal. I think with 1 in 36 kids being diagnosed every year with autism, I would say we are way now on the scale of needing far more family friendly bathrooms. And by that, I mean, I can go in there and maybe there's a stall in an open area. My son can use the bathroom. I can be in there with him. I don't have to send him into a public restroom with 50 other men by himself. Okay. And when I have to go, I don't have to, heaven forbid, have him stand outside of the public bathroom while me and 50 other women try to go to the bathroom at the same time. And he's by himself standing outside of the bathroom. No, no, and no. On every level, I think it is now time for us to advocate and start connecting with airports and making sure that we have some type of more appropriate ratio for those of us who need to assist others or need to keep them safe and keep an eye on them even in the same little area while they're using the restroom. It's listen, I'm going to start an advocacy movement here for more in everywhere, in just in public in general. There are not enough bathrooms that will help to accommodate somebody who needs assistance. There just aren't. So, okay, find them in advance, know where they are, and try to utilize them. Now, try to prevent doing what I did, which is searching all over the airport for them by knowing where they are first. But also, this is next on the checklist, go to the bathroom before you leave for the airport and is also as soon as you get on the plane. Okay, pre-board with everybody else who's pre-board, first class, blah, 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 whoever they're calling for pre-board, those who needs extra assistance, you need extra assistance. You and your loved one or your child, you need extra assistance. Even though my son doesn't have those physical limitations, we need a minute to get in, to get situated, to get him to the bathroom one more time before we take off and to get him kind of transitioned into the row and in his seat. It's just a good idea. Use pre-board. Okay, get on there. Use the bathroom before the whole entire plane becomes full, and it gets harder and harder to take a bathroom break as you go. All right, allow yourself like more time than you would ever think that you would need. Plenty of time in advance. I used to be one of these people that flew by the seat of my pants. I don't want to sit at the airport 1 minute longer than I have to. It's too busy and crowded. I have totally changed my mind on all of that. Allow for extra time. If you have extra time, you can sit down, grab a bite to eat, you can relax, but there is nothing worse than rushing around and feeling the stress of that because our loved ones with autism are 10 times more sensitive than we are. They will feel that even more than we will. And we will transfer that frenetic energy onto them. We won't mean to, it will be accidental, but they will absolutely feel it. So let's just do them a favor on the front end and make sure we have plenty of time. All right. When you book your flights and your seats, I again, listen, I'm all about bathrooms. I'm all about bathrooms because when our loved ones get nervous, they tend to have to go more often. Okay. So I actually booked our seats this time as close to the bathrooms as possible. And I know what you're thinking. Ew, gross. Okay. Maybe. But listen, I would rather watch people shuttle in and out of the bathroom and be very close to it, either right in front of it or right behind it, than having to wait in line or make my way with my son up the aisle with a moving plane and all that kind of stuff. It just worked so incredibly well. And I mean this, he has to go more often when he's nervous. It's a byproduct of the nervous system and that flight or fight response. Maybe your loved one is the same. If so, just pick a seat next to the bathroom. There will be plenty available. Trust me when I tell you, like, not everyone's clamoring for the seat by the toilets. And sometimes it's like, I mean, yeah, they're better seats because actually on the way back, we were in the row next to the bathroom and there was nobody sitting right there next to the bathroom. Like there was him and me and then empty seat and bathroom. And I felt like it was better than first class for me. I didn't have to jump over everybody. I didn't have to ask the person next to me, excuse me, 2 or 3 times. We just had free access and it was beautiful. Okay. All right. What's it? What? Yeah, Okay, one more. Yep. Okay, finally, last but not least on the travel sanity checklist. Pray. Pray before you go. Pray before your trip. Pray that you sit next to an earth angel. Chances are, if it's just you and your loved one, you're going to be sitting next to somebody else. I'm not kidding you when I say I absolutely pray in advance. And I have had people sitting next to us that have been so kind and gracious, who understand that if we have to get up once or twice in the flight, they have no problem. Yep, no, hey, yep, no problem. He My son always wants to sit by the window. It has worked best to keep him by the window. He loves it. He loves the takeoff, the landing. He loves looking out the window. He talks about the clouds. It's all good. It's very beneficial to do that. So, but that means you will be sitting next to a stranger. And so just pray that the stranger is a kind one, that they have a sense of compassion, that they're not easily irritated. This will make a huge difference in your travel. So, better yet, if you're traveling with one more person, you don't have to worry about it, and the three of you make a perfect row. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, just lay the groundwork in advance by asking for compassion and mercy from those that will be near you or with you as you travel. And then there's the whole, wherever you're staying, there's accommodations that we can talk about in a later video as it relates to where you're staying, whether it's a VRBO or a hotel or a guest's home. One little nugget I will offer to you: if you are with an adult, and my son is an adult, so I always make sure that he gets a room that is, number one, by a bathroom, number two, a little bit separated, if at all possible. And this is not always possible. We were staying with a family member, and it was possible in this case, but his room was a little bit separated because he gets up earlier, he wakes up earlier than everyone else in the household typically, and he's, stimming. He's talking to himself. He's verbalizing, vocalizing. If he's choosing to watch a video or something, he will be sort of, you know, y- I don't have to explain what a verbal stim is to you, but he will kind of be doing that, or kind of humming in the background, or scripting. And so as he's making those noises, I just really want to be sensitive to everyone else in the household. So I always try to make sure that he's a little more contained in a space that is comfortable for him, and also is not going to disrupt maybe the sleeping patterns of the other people in the household. All right. So that is what I have for you now. If I think of more things, I will shoot another video. In the meantime, God bless you. Much love to you. And I cannot wait to see you on the next video.